shout to clouds. It's trigger warning!
Yes, welcome to Trigger Warning with myself, Aidan Hewitt, and a photograph of Graham Booth.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, how are you, Pickle? I've not spoken to you for a bit. You've been away.
I know, and I'm pissed off now. I'm pissed off, especially as I've just closed all my prep because my camera's not working.
No, it's not, and I'd like to remind everybody it's not my fault.
No. I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know. I've just been stressing for like 15 minutes. Like I did all my usual tests. It's reading it. It's there. It's just not sending it you for some reason. But no, I'm good. I went away. I was in a caravan, and I brought back a bit of a tummy bug, and it was horrible, man. 3 days of like nagging pain in my gut, ruined my appetite, affected my mood.
Loose and runny poo.
Oh yeah.
Terrible.
Kept trying to tell her about it, but what the fuck do women know about that sort of thing?
No, they don't understand our pain. They don't understand our pain. We have lots of people telling you what to do. Farley Hill says it's security settings. Turn camera on.
What? No. What? Security settings? In what?
Oh,
Where?
I have no idea. We've got Bob Felchin who's whining about LiveLeak for some reason. I'm sure it makes him very, very happy to do so. Apparently, I have to tell the truth or something. I'm not really sure. I think we'll skip the LiveLeak chat. So yeah, you had a lovely time away.
Yeah, dude, really, really nice. Like first time she went on the beach. We went on a cable car that it was all exposed to the air and a castle and everything. It was great. God, what if I have got a tapeworm? That's all I'm going to be thinking about now.
I'm sorry, I said I wouldn't do LiveLeak stuff, but Bob Felcher said, ever since Graham got involved, the site has been a total mess. Why don't you tell the people about your involvement in LiveLeak and how you've ruined it, you bastard?
You never not should have given me all that access to all that LiveLeak stuff, Aidan. It was a big mistake.
These guys must think it's like, yeah, me and Graham do LiveLeak, you know.
I have quite literally nothing to do with it. Like less than I could have. Like I could have questions. Like he sits there going, doing the back end stuff, and I'm not. I'm just like, just texting or whatever. I'm not even like, what are you doing? It's like he's just doing his thing there, isn't he?
He just said, "You know who I am, fat boy." No, everyone calls me fat dickhead. How do I know who some fucking needy fucking shut in with daddy issues is typing at me on LiveLeak on trigger warning? You know who I am. They all think they're special, Graham.
I know.
They all think they're special. It's just another fucking incel to me. I don't know why they all think I remember them.
I have quite literally nothing to do with LiveLeak other than the fact that I post on there sometimes and go in and say hello. I have nothing to do with it in any way whatsoever. So that you're just showing your own paranoia there. Both me and Hayden do have lives outside one another. We come together for the podcast, and then we go off and do our thing again
until we move closer to each other.
Yeah.
Then yeah. BFFs.
That might be what it needs to sort the webcam out. Do you know what? I spent so much time lighting today as well. You know, I really put the effort.
I know you sent me photos. You really tried your best. And it's terrible pity it hasn't panned out. People should know why we're not doing the studio tonight. We're moving the studio, and it's got to be completely rebuilt. So that's going to take time. Boaty McBoaty in chat says, worst show I've ever seen in my life. Hang on, it gets worse. But you could always just Red X this shit, dude, and watch something else. I guess Keemstar or whatever it is you young people are into.
He's getting very, very nervous, you know, because have you seen YouTube are changing the rules for reaction videos and drama alert and all that?
I honestly don't know what Keemstar actually does. He's just turned up in my feed because someone that works with him follows me. And
right.
I literally haven't. All I know is he's got millions of followers, but I don't know what he does, what they talk about. I don't know anything about it.
I've not watched a single video he's ever made, but um, going off his Twitter feed, he seems like an all right cat. Like, I don't know what he does for a living. I don't know what his content is. I know he does something called Drama Alert. I think it's like YouTube gossip, basically. It's just gossiping about other YouTubers. But YouTube, of course, because Carlos Marder and Vox and fucking half the Democrats at the moment are demanding censorship. So they're reclassifying gossip and criticism as harassment. But they're not actually saying specifically what counts as harassment. So as far as I can see, it's just what they decide. Have you got a mate at YouTube or have you not got a mate at YouTube? Because that seems to be the deciding factor at the moment.
I definitely don't have a mate at YouTube. So, not got much hope of that panning out. Someone just asked about the live show, so we're going to cover that in a minute, cover the TW stuff. Last time I'll address Bob. He says, how about telling us what happened to Random Thoughts section? Bob, just so you know, it's the last thing I'm addressing about Lively. It really isn't Lively, but you deserve to know. The guy who owned that channel deleted his account because he was sore in the arse region, I imagine, and that took it out. So there you go. Go and check with your chums, dude. Now, fuck off. I can't think of anything else to tell you, Bob. I'm sorry that LiveLeak hurt you. You should probably write a blog about it, because we care about your feelings. Especially here on Trigger Warning. We're renowned. In fact, would somebody in chat give Bob a hug, please?
Big fat hug.
Give Bob a big hug, but watch out, because he will get a,
Farley, thanks for the thing about settings. I've checked all that though, mate. I've checked everything. The webcam is working on any site other than Hangouts right now, all of them, and I've double checked specifically. But thank you though, thank you.
Well, dude, you'll have it fixed for next week. I'm sure you'll have it fixed for next week. It'll be all done. All done. Now, the last few things that we've done together, we've been, we spoke about Trump and we've been kind of defending him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm going to talk about potential leaders and leaders today. Now, our potential Prime Minister here in the UK did drop a bit of a bollock today, didn't he, Boris?
Did he? What's he done? What's he done now?
Well, he was getting up to complain about EU red tape, of which there is much. There's so much. So he waved a kipper.
I saw that, yeah.
A smoked herring, and he dropped it and he picked it up, and he said, he's had complaints from kipper producers, people that smoke the herrings to make the kippers for people that eat kippers. I'm imagining old people and rich people that like kedgeree. I don't know anyone that eats kippers. I know you're probably about to say that you do, and you rub the butter on with your spoon or something, but he's there saying, red tape from the EU says they have to put these kippers on ice packs and then send them that way, which is ridiculous. It's intolerable. It increases costs terribly. And this is another reason we need to be away from the EU. One problem. It's not an EU rule, it's a UK one. I mean, of all the things he could have picked.
Yeah.
He had to go and do that. Do you
think he's doing it on purpose, or do you think he's just taking the Trump thing now of like, right? Let's just get, as long as they're talking about me, I'm happy kind of thing.
The Alex Jones model. Do a hot take and fuck it. just don't address it again. Possibly, and that'll probably work for him, because it worked for Donald with your "why don't you go home and fix your shit" comments, didn't it?
It's working for Boris. He's about to become prime minister, so he wasn't prime minister during the worst of the shite post Brexit vote.
Didn't he just not he, because he's not prime minister yet, but didn't the vote go against the fact that he can't prologue Parliament and
yes
force through no deal?
They've just made it quite hard, which is quite hilarious, because they're already saying, like, Prime Minister Boris, they're like saying, we're going to stop Boris. It's funny. It's so funny that they're so against it. This they're so against actually following through with something that legally should have happened on the 29th of March. Like it was the law. They voted that into law, and they're now like panicking, going, "No, this can't happen on Halloween." You know, it's like, no, we're stopping it now. They can fucking get off their asses now, can't they, to put a stop to that?
Well, someone's just asked. Bogyo66 says, "Can the British people..." Don't talk while you're vaping, it doesn't fucking work. "Can the British people influence who's the next PM?" No. No, it's not a general election. I guess some British people can, because the Tory party will vote amongst themselves as to who their new leader will be, and that's who we'll be saddled with. That's how we got Theresa May, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we don't, it's a common misconception.
And Gordon Brown.
Yeah, we don't vote for a prime minister. I mean, we do, but technically we don't.
We vote for a party.
Yeah, we vote for the party. So yeah, we all voted we all put the Conservatives in power at the last general election. And if you wanted to have a vote on who is the leader of the Conservatives, then you had every opportunity, as everyone else in this country, to join the Conservative Party to have that vote. That's how it works. And lots of people have done that in the last year or so, specifically to vote for Boris.
Exactly. We've also had a slightly unrelated question, but it's something we've spoken about before. Bob, who has now changed tack, has said, "How does it feel to no longer be able to watch," I guess he means porn, "in the UK without giving up identification?" It's still not happened, Bob.
What the fuck?
They've postponed...
No! I don't need you in here singing Let It Go. Darling, I'm working. No! I'm talking to Hayden. You better close that door, darling. Thank you. That's so ridiculous.
That was nice.
I know. No, she's amazing.
I had to stop talking about porn there, even though she can't hear. It just felt all kinds of wrong.
It's so good that it wasn't 2 minutes from now when I'm just sitting there going, But no, it didn't come in, did it?
Well, no, it's been postponed again because the government can't make it work. And we've already said we really hope that you have to go to the post office to get your wank coupons.
I know, dude.
Because we'll be filming that shit.
Yeah, I'm going to do a GoPro series of me going in saying, "Can I have the pass, please?"
Well, do you remember when David Cameron tried the opt-in system that everyone's dropped now? And it was like, when you got a brand new ISP, you had to sort of call them to request access to adult material.
Yeah.
I totally did that and loved it. Loved it. I mean, yeah, it's just a call centre operator. "I would like the access to all of the adult material, please." They're just, yeah. So it's not come through, and when it comes through, it won't fucking work, because this is the UK. Our government is fucking useless. This country is currently mental. It's just not going to work. It's just bollocks. But I'll totally be there in the queue for my wank vouchers.
100%. I literally can't wait. I cannot wait for that to be a thing. I don't think it's going to, though. I mean, surely someone somewhere has sat them down. That's why they delayed it, haven't they? They've gone, "This is really bad. Like, they're not covering all the porn sites for a start." So that's my main issue with it. The big ones are going to be blocked. YouPorn will be blocked, but all the dodgy, kinky ones, you're fucked then, aren't you?
It's all a load of bollocks. The UK government every few years tries something new and it never fucking works and it's pointless and it fails. Yeah. And, they'll just put it away and have another attempt at massive online censorship. Well, somewhere down the line.
I've seen recently, have you seen these electric scooters that people have been getting on, like just a scooter with a little thingy on it, and people are going, "Oh well, they're not legal, they're not legal, they shouldn't be." And it's like, you know what, my perspective is, if some prick wants to fling themselves down the road next to a big truck, because that's the issue, they're saying, well, it's dangerous, the people have been dying, and yeah, a couple of people have died, but it's like, for me, I'm like, well, wait a minute, like, why are we starting from the point of going, that's not legal, because those things didn't even exist, so how can it not be legal? But then if someone wants to do that, let them do it. But surely, with Extinction Rebellion and all that, and like lower emissions and all the rest of it, surely those things are fucking amazing, really, aren't they? Doesn't that solve lots of problems?
You thought so, but this country's just a fucking joke. The internet's getting to be a joke with the pressure that comes from everywhere. And this country's a fucking joke. I mean, look in America, land of the free, home of the brave. Granted, I'm about to talk about San Francisco, so all bets are fucking off. That's like some leftist lunacy fucking enclave. But they've just banned vaping in San Francisco, yet you can still buy cigarettes.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had I fucking closed it, didn't I? Because of resetting it, guys. Thanks for the webcam advice, but it's working. It's there. I can see it's on. It's literally on. It's just not sending. Let me get this one up because you're talking about California, and I just saw this amazing story that they did in Berkeley, where they've changed all government language to review to get rid of the word man.
Oh.
So a manhole is now a maintenance hole, which I get that. I can kind of understand that. I'm like, yeah, California, why wouldn't Berkeley do that? but they've got rid of man for everything. So you can't have salesman. It's got to be salesperson. Again, that's all right. But here's where it gets weird. Brother and sister now, they have to write sibling. And I'm like, but wait a minute. You would be writing brother or sister in a government setting, potentially because you're dealing with safeguarding. So why the hell would you not specify brother or sister? You know what I mean? That's potentially important information. You're not allowed to have master. You've got to say captain or skipper instead. But they've got really, really fucked up things. So where you used to say male or female, you've got to say people of different genders. Men or women becomes a single gender. So it doesn't even make sense. I know last time California brought this law in, they did it in their local senate, and they failed within a minute. Within 1 minute, they tried to bring in gender neutral terms, and they said he straight away. It was absolute fucking nonsense. But yeah, bless Berkeley. Bless their little faces.
The world's going completely fucking mad. It just is. There was that other story recently of a woman that transitioned into a man, then stopped taking the hormones, got pregnant, had a baby, and is annoyed because he wanted to be the father,
right?
But lost his right to privacy in the case because they said you're not special. And now everyone lost the shit over that. It's just, fuck's sake, can't everyone just crack on a bit and just leave it the fuck alone,
Dude, I've been reading the Tribunal at the moment. Right, I can't remember the name because there's a hefty reporting ban on it. Nobody in Canada is reporting on this. I've been relying on someone called Passy Cracked, who he tried to have banned. So do you remember the guy that was sending messages about giving little girls tampon advice? And then,
the guy I got the 12-hour ban because I called him a man and used his name that he uses on Twitter. Yeah, I remember the guy. Yeah,
his name that he still has that he's been using as part of this case apparently. But yeah, the one who he's I think he had 17 in total. He's been to 17 different wax people. Body manicure people, and tried to get his balls waxed. And he's currently got cases against 4 of them running at once, all with the same judge.
Fucking hell.
And because of the way the law's set up, he has to go in for each individual one. So they're gonna 3 of the cases they're gonna give a combined result, a combined sort of judgment, and then one of them separate, but I'm not sure why because there's so many reporting restrictions on it. But this fucker has dragged his mum in there and got his mum to say that he had his first period at 13 or 14. And everyone's sat there, everyone's having to sit there like, yeah, of course you had your first period. And it's like we're in some weird fucking upside down world right now, man. How did he have his first period?
Why didn't anyone stand up in that court and say, "You don't have a fanny"?
Yeah, just like, are we really doing this? Are we really doing this?
Why are we doing? Can we not stop this now? Can we not? Can we not just please stop?
I know, I know.
You're just a fucking weirdo that wants people to wax his fucking lady balls and wants to show young girls how to put tampons in. This is not someone we should be indulging. This is someone we should be medicating.
Well, by the sounds of it, well, I think it's his mum. But you're reading it, and it's like you're like, if this is his dad saying all this, then I'm really nervous. It feels like a mum stuff. Like, your dad shouldn't be giving you advice about your periods in this way.
No.
But whoever it is, the parent and him are very mentally ill, and I suspect, and everyone suspects, even through the reporting restrictions that are very, very restrictive, very, very harsh. Everyone suspects that the same judge is taking them all on at once, which we can't even 100% confirm at the moment that it is the same, but that's what's been implied, because all this madness is going on, and the judge knows. The judge knows it's bullshit, and hopefully, we're hoping, that's why so many people are following it, that they're going to go. And so I did, though. I looked this up, right? And apparently, because I was like, wait, how is a boy, and fair enough if you want to wear makeup and dresses and present as a girl, whatever, you live your life, and I hope you're happy, but how does somebody sit there in court and claim to have periods? And I looked it up, and there's this thing that people are doing where they make ice cubes out of tomato soup, and you know where I'm going with this,
don't.
They do, and they just pop it right up their ass. And what they do, and there's forums. I found a forum.
Shitting blood or tomato sauce isn't a fucking period, though.
But, well, there's forums where they discuss techniques for it. So, you know, at the start, when they're complaining about it being bad, they'll put 2 or 3, like, cubes up. And so they've got a heavy flow at the start. And it's like, oh, my God, man. Oh, my God. Can you imagine turning up like that? I really hope that he turned up like that when he went to go and get his balls waxed at this poor lady that barely spoke English.
With tomato soup dribbling out of his arsehole.
Yeah, go on. Because that's what he did. He phoned up. This woman barely spoke English. This is what's coming out in the court case right now. Then when he turned up and just got his nuts out, she was like, no. And it's like, hate crime. He said it 17 times.
Do you know, I often wonder, and I'm not going to call anyone out to find out for sure, but do you think, like, you know, the majority of trans people who do not act like this, who do not cause all this trouble,
of course not.
Do you think they literally spend every day like this, just do 2 hands on the forehead, just, Jesus Christ, I've got enough fucking problems?
I know. Oh, do you know what? Mr. Kilsey once just pointed out a very good point in that he's representing himself, and he's going full on like TV lawyer. You know, not how it is at all in real. He's going on, you know, like off on time. You know, you're supposed to argue very specific points and present them, aren't you? And all the rest of it. And there's a certain thing, but he's going on exactly as you'd expect, man. He's very, very ill, very ill. And for me, he's a he, because he's going on about trying to harass girls in changing rooms. At that point, your respect's done. You know, I'll call you Count Dankula if you want. But if I find out you're harassing little girls, you'll just be called Marcus. You know what I mean?
Not that in any way are we suggesting there's anything going on like that with Count Dankula.
No, but that's my point.
Unless Keemstar says differently, apparently.
Unless Keemstar, yeah. If he does a tweet about it, then it's game over, mate. Cancelled. But I don't know. I think people like him are severely setting back, you know, quote, the cause in terms of trans rights. And no, it's not even trans rights, is it? Trans rights is a misnomer. It's just us all getting on. You know, it's like when the Windrush generation came in here, there was a load of fucking racism. People hated them for like 30 years old. But then the generation came through, and they're just they're British now. I was standing up for someone the other day that they were saying he wasn't English. He was a Mancunian. I'm like, I don't give a fuck where his mum's from. He's a fucking Manc. Look at him. No, listen to him, you know. And for me, I think in terms, I think we were better 10, 15 years ago than we are now.
Mate, everything was better 10, 15 years ago than it is. I was just thinking there, I miss the internet of even 5, 6 years ago, but 10 years ago even more so, when You know what I mean? You could just speak freely. People like him would be rightly torn apart online, and no one would have been banned because of him, and you wouldn't have all these advertiser pressures and all these fucking hassles coming from everywhere just because you want to go, let people just fucking speak, you know?
Mate, the trannies would be ripping him harder than anyone.
Of course, do. Everyone would be tearing him to fucking pieces, but no one can, because if a trans person does that now and criticises them, fucking they're turned on by the activists. Like,
Exactly.
what's that? It's trans scum, isn't it?
Oh
Trans
yeah.
scum.
There's a
Again,
few. Yeah.
I have to warn people, if you are going to search trans scum on Twitter, it also means something else that you can't unsee, no matter how hard you try. It's trans cum, and that was that was quite awkward, as was the boner.
You see, for me, it went the other way. I was looking up the nice stuff, and then I just happened upon the political side of it all.
I want a fucking time machine so I can go back to when everything was fucking cool.
Hey man, 15 years ago, I had my big lion head of hair. Oh,
It just meant you could say whatever the fuck you wanted, though. You know, I mean, yeah, all right, not threats of actual violence, realistic threats of violence and shit, but just nothing was off limits, and websites weren't getting fucking crucified and shut down because of it, and social media didn't fucking exist, and we were all the better for it.
I'm not worried, Aidan. I'm not worried anymore. God Emperor Trump is going to team up with Boris Johnson and Ted Cruz, and they're going to save the internet. Don't worry about it, mate. It's all sorted.
Boris Johnson is not going to save the internet. God Emperor Trump, maybe.
He might do. He's just had that big thing, didn't he? Did you see them all at the White House?
And then they had a fight.
Well, it was so funny because the media reported it as like fight breaks out at far right thing, and you're like, it's not far right. It's like it's influencers, social media people. But then when you looked it up, it was someone from CNN starting the fight. You were like, wait,
look
what?
at that fucking demented fucking lunatic that firebombed the immigration centre, the refugee place. He set it on fire to set them free.
I know, and he was going for the big gas storage thing. The big that he was just going to.
What was he trying to set? What was he trying to set them free from? Life?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, they're calling him a martyr, and you know what, man?
Martyr. That's the wrong word. They've spelt fucking lunatic wrong.
I know.
Terrorist.
I know, that is very, and I'm talking like big people. Like that Steve King and all that. The guy that pretends to be black. People with millions of followers. Straight away calling him a martyr, saying this is what needs to be done. The way they're framing it is concentration camps cannot be tolerated and must be shut down by any means necessary.
Why didn't they want to do this when Obama had them?
I don't know. I really don't know, man.
Why didn't anyone give a shit when he was deporting way more people and separating families? Why didn't anyone care? Why do we only care when the weird guy with little hands and the funny haircut does it?
Yeah, I know. Well. He's just changed asylum law, hasn't he? I mean, it's going to be challenged, obviously. But have you seen this thing?
No.
But this is the amazing thing, and he's played a fucking blinder with this. Because whilst everyone's doing hashtag I stand with Ilhan Omar, because he did that go back to Somalia stuff, essentially, didn't he? And I know there was caveats in it where he said, go there, sort that out, and then come back and tell us how you did it. So it wasn't really a go back where you came from, but it was as well. Whilst everyone, including Boris Johnson, he got asked about it. Theresa May, Jeremy Corbyn was virtue signalling over, saying how he's a racist and it's disgusting. Whilst everyone is holding arms and singing Kumbaya and lighting candles for the fact that they're not racists, he changed the asylum laws in one of the biggest moves he's done since becoming president, where anyone who has touched another country before hitting the Mexican border is denied now. That's the rule he's brought in. So specifically, unless you're Mexican or from a couple of very specific countries, just a couple, but any of these, so it's going to, I think about 95% of the people at the border are going to be turned away now. And Mexico are with him on it. Mexico were like, yeah, we don't fucking want them either.
It's a thing. It's a bit like when that was suggested here, wasn't it? Why these, these people that are crossing every European state coming here, and it's like the minute you said that, you racist bastard.
Well, it's to the strict letter of international treaties. It is asylum is the next the next safe bordering country, isn't it?
Yes, it should be.
And so that's all he's doing. He's just back into that sort of default. But nobody's talking about it. Nobody cares. No. Whereas you remember when he did the flight ban from the 7 countries and all that, people were in airports losing their mind, dressed like they're in the Handmaid's Tale, freaking the fuck out, all that shit. They're all freaking out about his tweets, which he doubled down on. He doubled down on the next day. When he did his talk, not his talk. He did a big rally that everyone's showing that clip of them going, send her back. Yeah. What they don't show, and I watched it today, it was one of the best speeches he's ever fucking given. It was so good. Not a single Democrat running is capable. And the thing is, they showed it in full on Fox News, the most watched news thing. So most people are seeing that. Twitter aren't talking about it. But what most people saw was this epic speech that mainly focused on jobs, the economy, had people losing their fucking mind. And then one by one, the squad, the 4 girls, Cortez, Ilan, who obviously go back to Somalia, and then the other 2, I can't remember the names now. He went through each one of them, saying all the worst things about them, basically. Fucked up the Amazon deal. Ilan is an anti-Semite. She's been found supporting Farrakhan, and she's been, and she said that thing about 9/11 being something that happened.
Oh God, yes.
He even said that she married her own brother. Which again is coming out. So whilst everyone else is going, I stand with her, he's listing all these things, and I suspect he knows that it's going to come out that that's true, that she did marry her own brother, because it's already been confirmed. Her and her husband both had a father that had the exact same name. That's how far the investigation is. Yeah. And
that's keeping it close in the family, isn't it?
But what he's done, and I don't buy into this 4D chess bollocks, but what he's done is he's got everyone on the Democrats and loads of people at the Twitterati to all put them front and center whilst they're tanking in the polls. Like Cortez and Ilan. Ilan is doing really, really bad. She's hated. She's severely hated. Cortez is got very high recognition, but people hate her. They fucking hate her.
Because she's fucking mental.
Just before he did this so-called racist tweet.
Graham, 1 second.
Go on.
Nat, thank you very much.
Oh, you hero. Thank you, Nat. Thank you so much. I'll buy a new camera with that. No, I'm not, because this one works. It's fucking blue lights up. Anyway. So just before he did this tweet, and just before he changed the asylum law that no one's talking about, this poll came out to show that the squad, those 4 girls, are hated. Like, they're bringing the Democrats down. They're very well known, but they're disliked. And the Democrats were starting to make moves to get rid of them, to primary them out. They were going to totally remove Cortez's district. They were gone. But now Trump has forced them to stand arm in arm with him and be like, yeah, I stand with them. Because what else could they do? He was racist towards them.
Thing is, when Trump first came in, we said he'd be back in 2020, and no one is working harder to make sure that happens than the Democrats.
Oh no, God, yeah.
No one's working on it. It's fucking hilarious, and I, for one, and I'm no fan of Donald Trump the individual, as you know, but I, for one, cannot wait for the tears when he's voted. Oh, I just did the OK sign by mistake. I cannot wait for the tears that are going to erupt from the left when Trump is voted back in. The outrage across the globe.
Yeah, God, yeah.
All the virtual signals, like our mutual acquaintance who we occasionally hear from online, he'll be beside himself. It will be fucking beautiful. Because if there's one thing I do love about Donald Trump, and I'm not going to lie, if there's one thing I love, it's that whether by design or just by being Donald Trump, he infuriates people who are authoritarian pricks, and he drives them fucking berserk. And for whatever else he does, good, bad, or indifferent, I will always, always love the rage tears that he brings out in people. It makes me so very happy to see it. Every time he fucking tweets, no matter how mushed up it is and fucking ridiculous, reading the comments underneath, it could make a grown man cry with happiness.
Yeah, well, I'm with you, man. The man's an ass, but in terms of politically, everyone's going on about him being president with no experience. But oh my god, dude, he's fucking caught up quick. He is playing the political sphere like a master right now, like an absolute master. Because he knows that the media is dying. He knows that they're failing. I mean, as soon as the Trump, the Russia scandal disappeared, CNN and MSNBC have been tanking in ratings. They need Trump to do a racist tweet.
Yeah.
They fucking need it for clicks. They need it to put their kids through college. So even though they know they'll be having the same conversation we are, that he's just playing them. He's playing them to make sure that the terrible socialist Democrats that are going to lose 2020 are front and center.
Well, not just that. The man's not a fool.
No, of course.
He's not no. And he knows how to play to his core very, very well. He knows his core will forgive him if he tells a little fib. If he writes something that makes no sense, no matter what he says, it doesn't matter. His core like him, and all the left are doing is further strengthening his core support and making it far more. Like I say, 2020 is going to be epic. Now, Bogio says, but he has to run the country as well. I can't help with that. All I do know is I've just told you what I enjoy about it. It's like if we get Boris Johnson, when we get Boris Johnson as the UK Prime Minister, there is no two ways about this. He's going to be, to use an expression from our colonial cousins over there in the States, a hot mess. It's going to be, but at the same time, God, it's going to be enjoyable. Oh my days. There's going to be so much to talk about. It's going to be wonderful. And, you just have, too many people look at the cloud and not the silver lining, in my opinion. You need to look at the silver lining a little more. So, yeah, that's my take on it. Donald Trump, 2020. That's, it's got to happen.
I think ultimately, though, I mean, it's a weird one, isn't it? Like, yeah, he's getting in. He's getting in for sure, and all he has to do is just try and keep things as they are with jobs. He's definitely, he needs to look at spending though. Oh my god, he needs. But then again, when he's not looking at re-election, maybe he will. But his spending has just been insane. And I'm not talking about the tanks on the 4th of July. That's nothing. That's a drop in an ocean, But he's not done anything about that. And really, in terms of. But he never promised that, though, did he? That's the thing about Trump. The man's a fucking ass, but at least he's doing stuff that he promised to do on the election campaign, or at least trying to. You know what I mean? Says a lot. I mean, our Boris isn't even promising anything, really. He's so fucking vague.
Yeah, we're just tied up in identity politics now, anyway, aren't we? I think I heard a brief clip on Richie Allen's show. I could be mistaken. I'm sure his guest was saying it was the Jews.
I'd put money there, to be honest.
I wasn't entirely convinced, if I'm honest. But yeah, identity politics is a massive problem.
Of course, yeah.
But I've noticed I put a tweet up earlier just because now that I've spoke about the Jews. A story came out about how some Israeli tourists over in one of the Spanish islands raped a British girl. Some Israeli tourists raped a British girl. And straight away in the comments, Zionism, typical Jews, the Goyim, all these things just pouring out. No one gave a fuck that a girl had been raped. Now this reminded me about, was it 2 months ago, a group of, they were just called German tourists. They were German Muslim tourists, raped a girl there. And again, underneath there, no one gave a fuck about it. All people care is to make their point. It's the same for politics. It's the same for anything. It's fuck any nuance, fuck considering anything, fuck finding out what it actually is. only like the things that you agree with and decide that that's the truth, and just that at all fucking costs. You know, whether it be religion, whether it be politics, whether it be websites like the chap having fun in here tonight, who's still here, bless him, so it can't be all bad. Everyone's just like, tunnel vision, this is all I can see, and I will not accept anything that comes from outside whatsoever. You know, will not accept anything whatsoever, and don't take anything in. And this is endemic worldwide, yet everyone thinks their country's not as bad as other people's countries. I see British people saying, "Oh God, I'm so glad I'm here and not in America." Why? It's shit here. You know, it's bollocks. The country's going fucking mad. They're looking at ways of, you know, they mooted the idea we should put chips in cars, you know, in the GPS.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That limits your speed. And now people are going, it's a great idea. I'm saying, but it doesn't stop that, because number one, bad idea. Even just for safety's sake, bad idea. Number two, how long before it's, we know everywhere you go as well, which they do anyway. And then how long before we think you all need to use your car less?
Well,
now in the States, that wouldn't happen. Maybe in San Francisco. In the UK, this could well happen, because we're just fucking like, yeah, we'll go. Basically, the people in the UK will only riot if the government try and take too much actual hard cash off them. Apart from that, they don't seem to give a fuck, because the newspapers tell them it's a good idea because you got to think of the kids. And there you go. Fucking, there you go. Sold. Done fucking deal. People in the UK are fucking stupid, and this country's shit. Now, America's got its problems, fuck knows, but it bores me to fucking tears. It's so much better where I am. And then you got bellends like Jeremy fucking Corbyn going, we should really use the Venezuela model. Yeah, because I want to be, I want to be starving and run over by a police car. That'd be fucking wonderful. Thank you, Jeremy.
Well, you know what though? We've not had genuine liberty, or just a concept of liberty here for so long now that we're just used to it.
So one of the many things I do love about the US is that, you know, even though it will be eroded, whether they like it or not, it's that liberty is enshrined in the very fabric of the society in the US. Now, the UK is so fucking old. You know, I mean, the upheavals that happened to give the common man rights, power. You know, there were wars fought for this here. The Magna Carta is still the basis of all Western politics and freedoms and constitutions. Yet here in the UK, we're kind of a bit apathetic right now. However, caveat, the people of the UK are always apathetic right up until there's a massive fucking riot in London and the government have to back down. But it's when will that happen? Because nowadays we've got many more things to calm us down and to ensure that we're not unified, to ensure that we remain split along political lines, religious lines, social lines. There's much more now to keep us apart. We're controlled. There's no two ways about it. Now, I don't buy into the NWO shit and all that, but the UK's in a real state. Is it permanent? No, of course it's not, because all these things are cyclical. Whether you like it or not, they're always cyclical. If the pendulum swings too far in one direction, if you look throughout history, it always swings back way too far in the other direction. And at some point there will be a swing towards the right, and I don't mean the far right. I mean conservatism, and probably more in the way of personal liberty, and then it'll swing back the other way.
But that's my issue at the moment, and I get this on Sunday when I start talking about like personal liberty and freedom, and you know, respecting me as an individual and respecting everyone else as an individual. I get a lot of comments like, "Oh, here we go, Tory, like, you know, putting his blue ribbon on and things like that," and I'm like, no. The Conservatives don't embody any of that though. No. They've got their own thing going on. Yeah, the business, like almost kind of a respect for capitalism in this, but a crony version of it that they're so fucking mixed up in, where the Prime Minister's husband is running after prisons and all that. That's like the problem for me is we're swinging left to right, but there's what I want isn't included in any of that at the moment.
No,
You know, like,
it'll come around.
yeah. I mean, well, we just got to keep talking about it, man. I mean, the amount of shit. I mean, it's like this with those fucking electric scooters, and people are hammering on about the police are handing out £300 fines for using them. I'm thinking, fuck off.
To be fair,
Fuck off.
actually, Graham, any grown man found on a scooter should actually be flogged in public.
All right, well, I can understand that in terms of the shame thing, but the legality bullshit, fuck off. Like, they're even talking, you just mentioned cars. There's talk today, they're floating the idea of banning under 25s from driving at night. And it's like, really? How are you even having this? You know, we're looking at the EU saying, what the fuck are they doing? But it's just as bad here.
Oh, of course it is. Our government will fucking love to take away every freedom of the How can they ban under 25s from driving at night? Who's going to do donuts in the Aldi car park?
Yeah, well, yeah, but
How are people going to get laid?
How's your 20-year-old daughter going to drive home safely from work also? You know, it's like, we'll just put all these women out on the streets to get raped. It's fucking ridiculous, man.
Well, even aside from that, because obviously no one will have jobs anyway.
No,
how are kids supposed to socialise, get laid, have fun? You know, just do all the shit young people are supposed to do. But we don't want them doing that now. We want them stuck in the house, sat on fucking Twitter.
I know. Who? Right. Most people driving at night aren't over 25 anyway. They're just fucking. That's the time for the kids to be out having the fun, isn't it? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but for me though, I mean, all right, there's been a lot of talk today. Everyone's been going, oh, this can and can't be done. What about police? What about ambulance workers? And for me, all right, yeah, you can have that conversation about all that bollocks. But for me, it's the bigger thing of like, why are they even discussing this? How are they even in the mindset where they're daring to consider taking away an 18-year-old's freedom in such a manner? They're a fucking adult. They're paying taxes. They've got...
Did you hear about Extinction Rebellion?
Oh, those cunts are back, aren't they?
The ones down in Bristol, they blocked a motorway, and the police said, you can't do this, but didn't do anything about it. Some guy called into the radio station, apparently it's confirmed, he was trying to reach his dying father in hospital.
Yeah.
Because these middle-class tow rags were blocking the roads, he didn't get to spend the last moments with his own father.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they went and interviewed some of these We're Going to Save the Planet fuck-ups, and she was crying, saying that's a terrible story, but, we need to do this to prevent humankind going extinct.
You could see the moment on that, because I've not listened to his recording, and to be honest, I don't want to listen to it. I get the gist. You can see as she's listening to it, where it almost breaks through her consciousness and gets past the conditioning. Can't you? You can just see the tear comes down, and then she goes, but we have to, and it's like,
Fucking,
okay.
do you know what? Bulldozers. Fuck them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What do you want? What the fuck do you want? What do you want? None of them can tell you. That one person that gave a straight answer to that question, an actual direct answer, was about the zero carbon thing that they've all been saying. Not no carbon, but net zero. So it's all offset and all that. And somebody actually had the sense enough to just push past. How? How are we going to do that? Well, the technology doesn't exist yet.
No, and they all drive down to these things in the fucking Range Rovers.
Of course they do.
Lying down in fucking, was it Waitrose?
Oh, yeah. They all lay in the fruit and veg section of Waitrose. Because those are the people you need to convince, aren't they, eh? You fucking virtue signalling assholes. Because the people buying bananas in Waitrose aren't aware of the environmental issues. You absolute swats. And the fact that it's an emergency, we need someone to invent it. Well, why don't you get the fuck out the way and let the actual people that have got jobs go and do the jobs and keep working on the technology that's going to get us out of it? Because that's the only way. The only thing that's going to help is technology. Like that thing we were talking about the other day that they've got in taxis that they're going to bring in round schools, and it literally just clears the air. It makes the air like you're out on the moors, and it's like that. Standing out like that isn't what gives us that technology.
No.
Not at all. And here's the thing as well. I was looking it up today. Scotland, and this is houses, so it's not everything. Last year produced enough electricity to power every single house twice over just using wind. I mean, obviously that doesn't power the businesses and trains and all the rest of it, but they're doing phenomenally well. We now power 7% of the world's electric using wind power, right? So we are fucking doing things. It is happening.
It's
So
not enough
we're-
for these people because they've read that if we don't go completely carbon neutral and bankrupt the fucking country, the entirety of mankind is going to go extinct. And no matter how often you tell them, could you please just back that up with some actual fucking science?
I know. It's oh god.
And
But they
also,
don't have-
if the UK goes carbon neutral, the UK, we're a tiny little fucking thing on the globe. You know what I mean?
we're maybe 2%. 2%.
Just fuck all of any importance. It's just stop. Stop, you over entitled, spoiled little bastards.
Well, that's the other thing as well. The two things they're demanding is the carbon neutrality thing, which again, technology doesn't even exist for that yet, but people are working on it, regardless of you protesting. The other one is biodiversity, which, as I went through for fucking 45 minutes, none of them have bothered to read the actual reports on it. In Europe, it's leveled off. It was from the 70s it went right down. In North America, the biodiversity is actually improving.
Yes.
So whilst they're all out on the fucking streets, fucking everything up for everyone, creating traffic, creating problems, it's actually getting better. It is, and I've gone over this before. Why the fuck are they not in South America? Because that's where the problem is with biodiversity.
I
They are
think what we
destroying
need
it.
to do is tarmac them. I think that can be the only answer. When they're all out there lying in the road, just flatten them out a little bit, steamroller, and then tarmac over them.
Yeah,
Let them become a part of this earth they're trying to save, and stop billowing out CO2 with every breath, containing all the bullshit they regurgitate from the fucking Guardian and all this shit. And fuck those people. Fuck those people and fuck their fucking ideas. Get off your ass and do this for homeless people, for the poor people.
I know.
For those being crushed by the fucking government's austerity measures. Get off your ass and do it for that, you fucking arseholes. Instead of just blocking the road thinking, oh, I've made a difference today. I've totally made it. I mean, it's such a shame people are inconvenienced and don't get to spend the last moments with dying relatives, but we are saving the earth by blocking the motorway into Bristol. Fucking wankers, the fucking lot of them.
I know. Well, they even got the government to declare an emergency. They did it, and they declared an emergency right there in Parliament. They all voted for it, went past through, and they said, right, what do you want? No answer. Because they don't fucking know.
Yeah, right, they should have declared a fucking emergency and sent the fucking army in.
I don't mind, man, if there genuinely was. If someone was about to be executed tomorrow for a crime they did not commit and there was genuine proof that they hadn't done it, fucking flood the streets, stop everything.
Yeah.
Genuine. If it's going to... But that's the thing. It's like, right, you've got my attention. What's the problem? Someone's going to die tomorrow. They're going to murder him tomorrow. We need to stop this now. And it's fucking hell, I'm coming with you then. But with these people, it's like, it's an emergency. It's like, well, what? But they're acting as if this information is stuff that I didn't learn in school 30 years ago.
Well, it's like, disruption protest is important. I supported the fuel one that we had. Was that the late 90s, early 2000s? We had a massive fuel protest in the UK at the price of fuel when it first breached £1. And protesters blocked the refineries. There's a fuel shortage everywhere, no one could go to work, but everyone was kind of behind it because they were doing something with a purpose. Even if you disagreed, there was a purpose there.
That's it, a stated goal, a clear goal.
The poll tax riots that saw that the poll tax was reversed down in London, that went a little beyond civil disobedience. But they had a goal, they had a plan, they knew what they needed to do. And these fuck-ups don't have anything. I mean, do you remember the website? You want the government to be controlled by the people. Let me guess. People you approve of.
Oh yeah. Well, it was randomly selected people, and there was a whole thing to make sure it was diverse and representative and everything. But then the people that they then met with were picked by them. So it's just all these experts that would come in and go, well, this is terrible, isn't it? And they'd all go, yes, it's terrible. And then, but they wanted to be able to advise on pretty much all laws made and, and have a say on everything. And it's like, oh, you just want to completely sidestep our democracy. No wonder you're out in the street. To be honest, that the thing for me is that the power-hungry arseholes at the top of this, I don't blame them. They found a great spin. they're like, yeah, the environment, man. We've got all these like nut job middle class bored people. We'll just fill their head with loads of shit about nobody else caring and nobody else knowing. It's an emergency, climate disaster, all those new hashtags they've got for it, and we'll throw them out. And but so whilst all these idiots are gluing their asses to the tarmac. The people at the top of it are like, yeah, they're like fucking Mr. Burns, just waiting for it all to work out because they're getting power off the back of it.
Well, I'm very disappointed in our police. In the old days, you know that guy that glued himself to the train? And he had to have a sign there saying, I am glued, please do not pull.
Oh,
They'd have just fucking torn him right off that fucking thing. Oh, my idea was better. Just start rolling the train towards the end of the platform. He'll get his fucking hands off the glass soon enough.
Fucking, how the fuck do you glue yourself to a fucking train? I mean, that's the environmentally friendly way of getting around, you fucking dickhead.
I tell you, this should have just started rolling the train out. I guarantee by the time he reached the end of the platform, you know, where he would have fallen off and gone under the wheels, he'd have got his hands free. Either that or he'd have fallen off and gone under the wheels. I was fine either way, if I'm honest. They're fucking just annoying pricks. You know, all those people that are just like, I've been in fucking work all day in a soul-destroying 9 to 5. I want to go home to my house, to my family, to my beer, to the cat, to whatever. No. You can't go home yet because we're saving the planet. No, mate. You just superglued yourself to the fucking train. The planet is in no way improved by your actions. And then train, fucking blow his whistle, out the platform, drag the fucker along.
Assholes. I saw Caroline Lucas, who I do like. I've got fundamental disagreements with politics, but I do like her. I like her approach. But when last time she was on Question Time, and she was like, "Please Google Green New Deal, check it out, read it, please." And I did, and it was absolute fucking shite.
Oh, that was shocking.
The Green New Deal. It's not quite as bad as the one Cortez put out in America, but it's up there. Their idea is basically print £50 billion a year. Just print £50 billion a year and invest it into green technology. And but it's just like, oh, that's the big Green New Deal then. It's like, oh, cool.
That's brilliant.
So you're just gonna that. It took 8 of you to do this, then, did it? 8 of them. 2 of them claim to be economists.
Well, printing money always works, dude.
Printing 50 billion. There you go, 50 billion a year.
It always works. Just print more money, you've got more money. It's that's the way shit works. Didn't you know that, dude? Did you know? Well, you know, do you even economics, dude?
No, I don't. Obviously, my understanding is a little bit thin. I worry a bit too much about hyperinflation.
It's like I was always brought up. Work, get money. I also believe that there are those who can't work. There are those who can't find some work. They need support to get them into work. And, you know, I believe in social programs within society, as you know.
100%. Yeah.
I think it's important, but we're losing sight of so much in this support. Everybody that just doesn't fucking want to. You know, if you don't have a reason to not be working, printing more money for fucking green energy or so everyone can have a fucking TV is a ridiculous fucking idea. Get a job. Get a fucking job. Start a business.
All that 50 billion does is just go to the same energy companies that are already making an absolute fortune to then replace the gas with hydrogen, which is one idea, but it's going to cost 30% more. But they need to replace loads of pipes and infrastructure and all the rest of it, which it would be cleaner because it basically just water comes out instead of CO2.
Yeah.
But so they just want to print. The Green New Deal is print loads of money and just hand it to the electric companies. Which, yeah, I'm sure it might create a few jobs or whatever, but it's then going to increase all of our bills by 30% straight away.
There's absolutely no need for any of that within the energy industry, but I'm not going into that today, but there's absolutely no need for any of it.
No, of course not.
But communities could be heating their community and getting power for pennies on the pound, but it's not going to happen because foreign companies are just raping the shite out of our population for utilities and things of that nature, and that's just, you know, how it is. So yeah, why not print 50 billion, give it to fucking Veolia or whoever.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it, man? I know there's a lot of countries everywhere I went in Southeast Asia, especially, has very strict laws about buying property if you're not from the country, and I always wonder why we don't do that. You know, why we don't have sort of I mean, I'm moving more onto housing now, because a big part of the housing crisis is people just buying up holiday homes essentially, or buying and then renting out. I mean, obviously that's going to happen locally, isn't it? But I always wonder why we don't sort of ban that from abroad a little bit. Well, apart from the obvious one of it lines the Tories' pockets phenomenally well.
Yeah, you've
doesn't
got to keep that in mind. The hero of the Tories, Rees Mogg,
Yeah.
he's the guy that voted religiously against any kind of legislation for landlords. Can you guess why?
Because he loves it.
Because he's a fucking landlord.
Yeah.
It's all crooked, it's all fucking bent. Every last piece of it is fucking bent. No two ways about it. Dude, it's been well over an hour now.
No, because I've got to tell you about this.
You can tell me about this, I'm just saying it's well over an hour. We've not
no,
even done the spiel yet.
That's probably.
Go on.
Oh shit! I've just had a load of weird texts. That probably distracted me. That. No, I wanted to ask you just before we go, and then we'll do this. We'll do the spiel really quickly. Did you see the girl that won the award for the manspreading chair?
Yes, I saw that chair. That looks very uncomfortable if you have any kind of testicles.
Yeah. So for anyone that hasn't seen it, it's like a triangular chair, isn't it? To stop you. It's so fucking stupid.
To stop you spreading your legs. But how do men sit with the legs together? How do you do it? Where do your knackers go?
I have no idea, man. But the guy they've got to demonstrate it looks very sad. And in fact, his legs still go over the wooden bits. For me, I'd just put my legs over the wooden bits. Yeah. But did you see the companion piece?
No.
Which is, so the man one, the tip of the triangle goes in. So your legs are sort of pushed inwards. The woman one forces you to manspread. The triangle goes the other way, and there's a little block of wood between your legs, so you have to sit with your legs apart. And I'm like, well, why? Why would any man? I'm just because there's a little block there, apparently to stop men sitting there, and it's like, love, how big do you think my dick is, or why do you think I'm so scared of it? I mean, it's only like an inch high, this block of wood. It's not like a big spiky ball or anything. I'm like, I'm just gonna sit on the man bit, man. I'm all right. I'm not asked at all.
I mean, but those chairs, I don't even trust when when people cross the legs.
Yeah.
Now a real chap does it where his ankle rests on top of his knee. Sort of like that. You can't see that anyway. But these men that cross the legs where the leg they cross over at the thigh, and they do that thing where so that the shins are sort of next to you. I don't understand. Where do these people put the testicles, Graham?
I don't know.
If I ever see one, I'm going to have to ask, where do you put your balls when you do this? Because, it's not that I have particularly large balls, but I do know that they don't like being squashed together very much. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I've got the thing there actually. I've just popped it up for you.
Why do you have to manspread? Because my bollocks.
Well, it's a fake story though as well, isn't it? Oh, I've done it on the wrong one. There we go. It's a fake story though, because men don't. Yeah, there's a couple of arseholey guys out there or whatever, but nothing serious. I've just dropped the chairs up there in case anyone wants to see what we're talking about.
Oh,
I don't know if it's worked.
I manspread like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but like, right, so here's the thing, right? Like half the pictures of men manspreading are on like empty trains and stuff. So it's like, well, you just took a picture of a guy sitting there. All you have to do is go, oh, sorry, could you bring your leg in or whatever? And they will do. Now and again, it doesn't happen. They're called arseholes. They're arseholes to me as well. Like, it's not just a woman thing. They're dicks with me. They're just dicks. And look at this, as if anyone's going to sit on this fucking chair. But it's a false problem, isn't it?
Where are they planning on putting these chairs exactly?
Well, I don't think they are putting them anywhere.
I was going to say, because I don't use public transport anyway, but if I did, I will spread as wide as my pelvis will allow.
Well, if you put that chair anywhere, right, it's going to force the dude's leg in. But if you actually look at the footprint of the chair, because the back of it's so wide, the chair's going to be taking up as much space as a manspreading man anyway. So they're completely beyond useless. The fact that this girl got an award for it is insanity, absolute insanity.
Actually, it should be expected, really. It should just be expected. This is how shit goes now. You know, toxic masculinity. Keep your legs closed. Squash your knackers. Nobody gives a fuck. You're a toxic male. I mean, I'm a fucking gammon. I'm a lost cause anyway. You know, I'm a middle-aged white man that doesn't quite understand. So I'm beyond even the anti-spreading chair. I should just be, you know, banned basically from sitting anywhere with the general public. As to be fair, though, if I'm going to be totally honest, I try and ban myself from sitting wherever the general public are as a rule.
Just full stop.
Yeah, but I think people are unhygienic. But this shit's just going to get worse. There's an award for coming up with something completely fucking pointless and useless that addresses no problem known to mankind. Fantastic. Do have to say, someone asked at the beginning about the Trigger Warning live event. It is still going on. Obviously, we've got to completely build the studio in a completely new location and get that done. That's priority number one, as soon as time allows. So we will be doing that. We will release details of Trigger Warning live as soon as possible. The main thing is we just want it to happen. However we can make it happen, we're going to make it happen, because I think that'll be a lot of fun. It'd be great to meet some of you guys in real life as well. Obviously, not touching, but meeting. Distance, preferably. But we'll definitely do that, and I am genuinely looking forward to it. So we'll do that. The new studio, next couple of weeks, that should be online and ready to go. That's where we are with that, really. The Trigger Warning website, I'm hoping to have some time next week to start getting the articles on there, get the videos all sorted out. I'm also going to introduce a point system. It's there, it just needs to be done properly, where we can attach some kind of value to the points. Maybe it'll be a percentage off the merch, maybe it'll be for digital downloads, maybe for access to areas to the site. So we're going to be doing that because that's something I can directly do on my own. So that's going to happen as well. Much to the disdain of someone in chat who's still fucking whining.
I know, I can see.
What a terrible pussy. I've never achieved anything in my life, but I'd like you to achieve all the things I want. Thank you very much. So that'll be coming very soon. Now, if you do like Trigger Warning, I know some of you don't, but if you do like Trigger Warning and you want to help support it, please do. It's patreon.com/triggerwarningtv. Anything from $1 a month helps enormously. It all goes on costs. However, if you can't, because times aren't exactly easy for most people, or you just don't want to, which is also cool, shed links. Let people know about it, get people involved in it, sign up on the website, get other people to sign up and hang out with us. And if you can't even be asked doing that, just turn up and watch the shows and hang out with us, because without that, what would be the point, really? So I think that's about everything, isn't it? I think that's about everything.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Yeah, I whilst I was sat here, then the heat hit me. You said unhygienic, and I thought, oh god, I've had my fan off for an hour. I'm very warm, Hayden. I think it's definitely time to go.
It's nice and cool here. I've got the door open to the back garden there, so all the fucking flying, cretinous, brainless fucking monsters are coming in. But that's okay, because the cats will eat the larger ones later on. I went for sound, and I wish I'd just left one window open, because I'm very hot. I'm glad you can't see me. I'm just sinking down like, oh god. Well, I'm lucky because there's actually a road near you, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
Whereas it's really quiet around here at night, but apart from maybe at weekends sometimes, but it's just really quiet. So I am the noisiest element of this immediate area. And usually when I'm doing this, or when I'm outside on the phone, because I like to walk up and down when I'm on the phone. Can't sit still on the phone. Strange affliction.
No, I'm the same. I'm the same as well. I'm the noisy neighbour. I was chatting to my neighbour about it the other day, and she said, "Oh, it's always nice. We can hear you having fun with your daughter." Like, yeah, okay. That's the look on her face didn't match what she was saying, though.
Yeah, these words. These are just words.
Me going, get here! I'm going to tickle you to death! And her going, she screams so loud, "No, Daddy, no!" And I love it. It's so bad though.
Well, I told you about that time, like, as my son was he pitched a fit over something. So I went, I'm going out. So, the wife was there. I just went outside, went round the front, and I went and had a cigarette. And he thought I was leaving.
Oh.
So he started screaming, "No, Daddy, no, Daddy, Daddy, no." And luckily for me, I was still outside because the neighbours were all looking out as if, is he murdering that child? And it turns out, no, I was just stood in the street having a cigarette while he kicked off. It's like, nosy bastards.
Mine's going through a phase at the moment where it's either "You're the best daddy ever, I'm so happy," or she's just like, "I'm getting a new family." She quote ran away at the supermarket a couple of days ago, and I watched her just run to the door like we were doing at the tills. So she just ran the length of the tills, and I was like, "I am running away." It's like, "Oh really? Where have we got this fucking idea from?"
Well, it's like Junior's at the age now where he'd rather spend time, out with his friends.
Yeah.
And there's one part of you that's really happy because it's like, he's spreading his wings, he's gaining some independence, he's learning how to deal with kids who are arseholes and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
But the flip side is it's like, oh, my baby boy, my baby boy, he's all big and grown up now and doesn't need me as much. So it's a mixed thing, but you've got all that to come.
I know. Well, we were at that taster day at school, weren't we? And it's funny because I've been to so many more groups and things with her, and I'm used to just leaving off, and I've watched her slowly be able to be more and more independent. And she just buggers off now. She won't talk to me for 3 hours sometimes. She's playing with her mates. But we took the missus down, and obviously she doesn't do that as often. So she was like following around and going, "Hey, no, yeah, all that bit's broke." And I'm like, "Stop telling her." Like, because she went to play with the water, and she's like, "Put an apron on." And I'm like, "Don't tell her to put a fucking. She needs to. One of the other kids will tell her. Just let that happen, because you're not going to be here in September." But she, not that it's bad. It's one of those things. There's no right or wrong answer, is there? It's like, obviously her instinct is to take care of her daughter. But I'm like, leave her alone.
Well, I think the big one for me recently was, obviously Junior's coming up to the end of year 2. He's got year 3 next year.
Yeah. Oh God.
And I said, "So what are you doing today?" This was the other day, having a chat before he went to school. He said it's transition day. Isn't it funny how that word's already changed so much?
Been loaded, yeah.
So it was one of those, I beg your pardon. It's getting used to his new teacher and his new class. We didn't have those. Mind you saying that, when I was a kid, everything was in black and white, and they still fucking hate you. So there you go, guys. It's 1 hour 30 of broadcasting, at least 1 hour 15 of actually talking about things. I've got to go.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too, 100%. I know I've got things popping in my head, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to let it finish.
Okay. Guys, thank you so much for spending your time with us. Hope you enjoyed it. Let us know. Keep in touch. Go at the site. Join up. Do your thing. Have a great week. Graham will be back, I imagine, on Sunday. And we'll be doing the podcast again on Tuesday. And if we're not all set up and running in the studio, we'll do something like this again on the Thursday as well. And I'll try and do a little broadcast somewhere.
I'll be back Sunday. I will.
Okay, guys. Take care. Have fun. Do your thing. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.